No. I didn't mean to start it before recording or anything. I don't know what's going on. What the hell? Okay. I don't know how much it actually manages to record. I just looked up and finally saw that it came up. It took forever to, like, figure out how to record. I don't know why. But I, like, went to go back into a save file to, like, choose something different. And, like, I noticed, like, start a new game was, like, glitched out. You guys saw Sayori's, I know you guys could see that, where Sayori was, like, pixelated and glitched out with other characters all overlapping each other and, like, really, really broken. And then... might be freaking out a little bit. And so I went back to try and get to the save of where I said, you know, best friend instead of I love you. And it said that file Sayori whatever could not be found and save files were corrupt. And it said starting a new game. This is what it put me to? Ah! Ah! Like, my skin is crawling right now. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it's just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk together. We used to walk to school together on days like this, starting around high school. She would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I'm just waiting for, like, it to scream in my headphones. Like, I am so concerned. It erased everything. Okay, that's chill. Wait, what? Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Megan? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Okay. Holy heck! Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Just hold on a minute. What is even happening right now? What is happening? This is a lot. So Sayori's still gone. She has been erased from my memory, I guess? What the heck? Like, what? Yeah, I had to take a break from the cheery music in my head. I'm not okay with it anymore. I hated it to begin with, and I still hate it now. So... we have forgotten of Sayori. We have always walked to school alone. Did this dude, like, create these people in his mind or something? That's my theory currently. I don't know what's happening. Okay. chill. It's chill. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'll return to the cheery music even though I hate it. Monica, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Some supplies. There we go. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah! To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make it something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Ooh. I saw that! Literature? That sounds kinda dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. Sayori's missing. It's really hard for me to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga's literature too. I'm saying it wrong again. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Megan. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I wouldn't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse something like Monica? Someone. Wow. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome! You're really sweet, Megan, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Okay. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. Oh. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third years, classes, and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back! And I brought a new guest with me. Oh, Jesus. I hate jump scares. Fucking hate jump scares. What the heck was that? That's not okay. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Megan. All words escape me in this situation. Me too, buddy! This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Wait, you recognize Yuri? Did he say that last time? Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. So Yuri's the vice president. What are you talking about? It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So, I ran into Megan in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica! Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Megan? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Who am I gonna sit next to? Because now I can't sit next to Sayori. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika. Oh. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Oops. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard starting a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you really enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Megan, what kind of things do you like to read? Considering how little I've read in the last few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. I'm debating how much of this I actually want to repetitively read, but I know it changes slightly, so I will. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. You know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Foreshadowing! Oh, again! Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? It's not fun. I don't want to go on another loop. Just leave me here. Let me leave. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp onto something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give me that back! Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I feel that was different. I really feel like that was different. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even your deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more secure. Something like that. I'm sorry, I skipped it. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the clubs, as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Megan? Hold on there's still one problem. What's that? I bluntly come forth with what my mind has been on the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Megan. What? The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed, so if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day of my life with these beautiful girls, bro, get a hold of yourself. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Megan? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I'd be super pissed. Megan, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Megan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay! I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait! With that, I depart the clubroom and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I'm stressed out. I can't save here. I'm scared. Yes. A joke. A man walked into a club. In the club there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent time together, and then she liked him even more. One day, the girl realized she was in love with him. Before disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming. Suddenly, the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in time. Monika knows more than she should know. And for her being the one to come find me and be like, hey, you need to join this club. I don't like that. I really, really don't like that. Monica knows a lot. I still prefer Yuri. So. Oh. Sorry, I just kind of like buzzed through those as fast as I could. Hi again, Megan. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Okay, good. I haven't woken up my dog. Seeing that glitch, like... Okay. Thanks for keeping your promise, Megan. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into a literature when you're not accustomed to it. Okay. Okay, that's cool, that's chill, I'm fine with that. Oh, come on, like he deserves... The music changed for a second there, I was really concerned. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan just to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. That worries me even more. Why are you in front of the thing? Why are you in front of the thing? Get back! Back! I don't like you this close. I'm not a fan. Natsuki certainly has a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Megan. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait. The music got weird again. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not like that, Yuri. I want to try and be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd happily pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? It just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it'll keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I keep hearing, like, the occasional diminished chord from the guitar track. and it really catches me off guard, and I don't like it. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper into her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you'll have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and a relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. Random lust for blood. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. I really want to read this book! Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Megan? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah. I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just this kind of story. It's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, it's not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Ah! This is not okay! Then suddenly... I'm very concerned! I'm rambling, aren't I? This is not okay. This is not okay. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem when I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. My whole body gets incredibly what? I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. I'm like taking a second to look at all of the background again, because like, I feel like something is actually going to change in the classroom, and if I've already like completely missed something, tell me. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Damn it! Oh my... That one got me. It got me, okay? It got me. I somehow didn't wake up my dog. I have no idea how, but I did not wake up my dog. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. I'm like leaning away from my computer now because I'm like waiting for it to do that again. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. I have a feeling it's gonna glitch out again when it, like, shows their hands or whatever. Like, how they're passing the pages to each other. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry, I was just bathing in the feeling of your— What? Your body something. Is Natsuki back there reading her mangas, like, projecting thoughts at us or something? Like, what's happening here? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desktop until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once again, we lean a little bit, our shoulders almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess it kind of makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, Yuri slides under her thumb after it flips to the side. I'm looking around the classroom again, seeing if I see anything. If there's something on the chalkboard, I'm gonna feel really bad, because that's where my face cam is. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth off of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me when I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning pages almost feels like an intimate exchange, my thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kinda reminds me of you a little bit. Or her smile! She kinda got a smile! I didn't notice that before. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking of the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. Oh, she has a lust for blood! We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Her breathing's a little... Am I breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Megan! Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess, so you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? No. Oh no, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? She might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Okay, what's happening to Yuri? Did Yuri's lust for blood drive her out of the classroom? Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Who should I share my poem to first? I can go to the one who hates it. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair that I shared mine with her first. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. I'll read them anyway. That way, just in case there's a difference, we'll catch it. I don't remember this music. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But it's the point of poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro! I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Guess I'm sharing it with Monica. Hi, Megan! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities and things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Megan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's the sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Megan. I was going oh in my head while reading it. Or ooh. It's the one that Rue and I got in an argument about. Is it real? It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. Yuri's awesome. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Oh, well then, aren't you just jumping to conclusions there? Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated or she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad you took all of the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Whoops. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. He wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. I feel like that one's different. So what did you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a lot. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten up. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. I thought I had to sneeze, but I didn't. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. Okay, it's gone a while without trying to scare me. So, like, I'm starting to get on edge again because I'm, like, waiting for it to come off. What am I getting so nervous for? Yeah, same. Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh. Yuri stares at me blankly and then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just mean Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's specific writing habits that are usually typical of newer writers. Having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize is new writers, they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they try to tend a writing style separate from the topic matter. They form-fit the two together. The end result is that both style and expressiveness are weakened. Now I can't stop yawning. That needs to go away. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, me, or to Natsuki. But, do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts and process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which in itself is kind of funny. After all, Isn't this supposed to be literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glows. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last to be replaced by... Goodness gracious! Like, seriously, what is with this nonsense? Have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green-blue hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem, even though it's short. It was really descriptive. Was it? It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Magan. Really? It must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. Ooh! Ooh! Am I gonna be left with nothing? I hope not. Like, I wouldn't really be hurt, but the person I'm playing would be pretty hurt. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. Can I stop yawning? That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Magan. Me too. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika's writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their work. There we go. I'll just go with that. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem on the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it. And Magan did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change it anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Magan liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Megan appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Ha! And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? This is exhausting. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. You! Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Megan started showing up. But Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Taking out your own insecurities on others like that, you really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. Oh! 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 I don't like this. I don't say that word. I don't like it. Edgy? Sorry. That lifestyle is too much for someone your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do that, don't you? No, I was right. Oh no, don't go there, Natsuki. That's rude. Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the f is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Megan hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns toward me, as if she just noticed I was standing here. Megan! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I get dropped? How do I... Whomever I agree with, of course... Ah! I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not agree- Oh, Monica! Monica, you do bad things. Hey Megan, why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little bit more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it! I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. Megan, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Because you're going to make her... Completely. Oh no. Anyway, the meeting is over. You can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not like that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Megan. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I don't like that. I don't like it. 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 No, I don't like it. 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 I'm very worried. I'm just gonna pick all the ones that I think Yuri likes because those are probably my favorite too. I'm very, 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 I don't like that one at all. There's a whole lot of nope going on. Oh, Whisper got her, fine. Yeah, I don't know what to think of some of these things. And it's scary, and I don't like it. Oh, jeez. I clicked the word. I clicked the word. Oh, please don't end that with anything. I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. I'm gonna look at my phone to be unconcerned for a second. Okay. I don't even know how long this has been recording for. Oh. You know what? We'll start the next one at the beginning of this club meeting. That's what we'll do. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. I am 99% sure that Monica has found a bug in the code and is going crazy with it. Like, things are bad. My best friend's gone, apparently never existed, her file's corrupt, Yuri and Natsuki got into a huge argument, I really don't know what's going on, but I will talk to all of you guys in the next one, which is, I'm going to record directly after this. So, I hope you all have had a wonderful, fantastic day, and hopefully we can save all of this back in our nightmares, and never look at it again. See you guys in the next one! Bye!